4 games, 3 big boys, 2 fuds, 1 channel. Welcome back to Fog Football. It's your midweek Spfl preview show. As we said there, right? Only the 4 matches. There's no 40 games on display here. There's 1 League 2. There's 3 Premiership. The 2 big boys are in action. There's also a lot going on in League 2 because you've got the champions to be, East Fife, taking on Edinburgh City. But there's a lot more to look at this league table.
And that wasn't the big boy game, by the way, in case anyone's getting confused.
No, it definitely wasn't the big boy game.
It's like the appetizer. League 2 is like an appetizer that you don't pay for. They give you it free. Like a fortune cookie at the Chinese when you spend over £25. That's what League 2 is.
Aye. What do you call it? Poppadom?
Poppadom, mate.
Poppadom, that's what I said.
You didn't say that
The
first
Don.
time.
Did I say Poppadom?
You said something
Don.
else. Anyway,
Tony
here,
Soprano.
let's look at the League 2 table here. Tony Soprano. If he was a League 2 team, what do you think he would be ranking?
Where would he be ranking? He never had the makings of a first athlete, so I'd probably put him 9th then.
He'd put himself first though, wouldn't he? Like, he's Tony Soprano.
I've got no idea what it's like being number 1.
Yeah, no, well, East Fife do have an idea, and you know what? It's been a pretty close battle between East Fife and Elgin City, I think, from the beginning of the season. But Peterhead, they refuse to go away. They always seem to be there. Whenever you think they're about to fall away, they come back, and I don't really recall a big gap opening up at any point this season. I mean, it always seems to be, even when one team does maybe get like a win ahead, like it's pulled back the very next week. So yeah, this is very close. I hope it obviously continues. You got 2 points separating the top 3 teams, and I mean, dare I say, we cannot rule out Edinburgh City. I think Edinburgh City also have a chance, an outside chance of potentially winning this league, and if they don't win it, I think they're looking good for 4th spot. And I don't think Stirling Albion are going to be a factor because, you know, they actually started the season pretty good and their form has dropped off. Now, keep in mind, Edinburgh City started the season terribly.
No, they did. It was a shite start, but they're up there.
But all of a sudden, you know, they've pulled it back. So, shout out to Edinburgh City. Had they not got off to a poor start, you know, where would they be? Maybe even they would be top. But regardless, if you offered Edinburgh City 4th at this point, I think they'd have took it because most people had them finishing rock bottom. Most people had them going down, but they are not going down. I think they're going to be safe, and I think they're going to get that playoff spot. But look, it's still close. I mean, you look at Albion, Spartans, Clyde behind them. I mean, they're a couple of wins away for potentially moving into that playoff position. And then in the bottom 3, you've got Stranraer, Bonnyrigg Rose, and Forfar. Obviously, Forfar are a few wins away from moving off the bottom, but I mean, it's not impossible. They've only won 3 games all season, but you know, you win 1 more, you put a bit of pressure on the teams in front, and God knows what's going to happen. So, I mean, I wouldn't say this league is done at all. It's halfway through, and it's still interesting.
Absolutely, but I tell you what, if Edinburgh City win, they're right amongst it. And that is the one game. It's Edinburgh City against East Fife, so let's go.
Yeah, top of the table clash here. East Fife will look to try and go, I believe, 8 points ahead of Edinburgh City.
Yep, correct, Amundo.
Yeah, Edinburgh City looking to bring the gap down to 2. So, I mean, this is the true definition of a 6-pointer. If Edinburgh City win this, then why can't they challenge for the title? If Edinburgh City lose this, then yeah, you're probably going, well, they're going to settle and focus on a top 4, a playoff position. So, it's a massive game at Meadowbank Stadium, 8 o'clock kickoff. Wish it was televised. I would have certainly watched it, but it's not, so...
Would you have watched it though?
And I don't think there's an Edinburgh City TV.
Nah, something tells me ECTV doesn't work.
No, ECTV is out of business. Can't I get a signal? Anyway, will Edinburgh City be able to get a signal? Or more importantly, will they be able to get a result? Will they be able to get a win?
How about this for a reception? 2-0, Edinburgh City.
I'm going 2-1, Edinburgh City.
Oh, close.
Aye.
Close but no cigar.
Well, I'm going to... Well, I tell you what, there'll be a lot of cigars in the capital with... Brendan Rodgers, they better not have smoked them all.
Nah, hopefully not.
Edinburgh City will want to have a wee draw.
Yep.
Well, not a draw, they want to win, but they'll be having a draw, a puff.
Speaking of Brendan Rodgers, he'll be hoping that no one's chanting for Kieran Tierney's name here, because he sits top of the league. Then it's Rangers, Dundee United, Aberdeen. I believe, there's just a lot of games. I don't like when everyone's played different amount of games. It's all over the place, isn't it?
Me neither, but I mean, it's only one difference, isn't it, really, apart from the top 2, and they're not really battling with anyone else, so I mean, it's not making that much of a difference if you ask me. But you touched upon Brendan Rodgers, Kieran Tierney. Do you want to give any more thoughts on that? Do you think that Brendan Rodgers regrets that? Do you think it's like a heat of the moment comment? I just don't see what Rodgers had to gain. And then this talk of the backward passes as well. It's like Rodgers, things are going great right now. Why is he possibly trying to antagonise the fans?
You know what? I kind of respect if you're Rodgers.
I respect.
He clearly thinks he's not made this up. This is clearly what he thinks. Because you're right. Brendan Rodgers could have just said he could have just said 13 points clear, hold that, and then walked out. But he's actually made a point here and went, you know what? I don't think it's right. Greg Taylor has been phenomenal for Celtic, and it's a bit disrespectful towards him.
No, he's even talking about he addressed fans that are going to boo a backwards pass, don't know anything about football.
Yeah, I mean, anytime we do Celtic fans react, there is a lot of negativity in terms of backwards passing.
I mean, Jesus Christ, even the best team. I mean, you will see Man City. Well, not this year, but in the past, you would have seen Man City play a backwards pass. Bayern Munich would play a backwards pass. Real Madrid, Barca would pass it. But it happens. It happens to the best of them.
It does, but the best of them sit 13 points clear. Dundee United and Aberdeen, 6 behind Rangers. Motherwell sit on 30. Then you've got the likes of Dundee who are in action this midweek. Anything else you want to say about the league table? Is it about time Hearts finally moved up?
I mean, you can add up if you take away Celtic, add up all the teams with a positive goal difference, it doesn't even get close to Celtic.
It's crazy, isn't it? It gets to 31.
Celtic on 48. So, I mean, it's... Rangers have a minus and a negative goal difference away from home as well. That's poor.
Will it change this midweek? Probably not, but let's dive into
let's actually look at the bottom of the table here, because you just glossed over St Johnstone. I think it's worth talking about the fact that they are 8 points adrift here. Hearts in 11th, Kilmarnock in 10th, Ross County 9th, Dundee 8th. People are saying, what is the cut-off? Who's going to be in that relegation playoff battle? Who's not? I mean, if you're looking at it purely just from a point standpoint, pun intended there, I mean, you would have to say that probably Motherwell Down could finish 11th. If you're basing it on points alone.
Totally
agree. I know Motherwell have a game in hand, but if you're basing it on points alone, 7 points isn't a massive gap to overturn.
I tell you what, right?
Can we agree with that?
I agree with that, but let me say something here. Hibs fans must be wondering, how have we picked up 14 points out of 18 and only 3 points clear of 11th?
Well, that's what happens when you have an absolute diabolical start to the season.
No, it is, but it's like Hearts have been absolute shite, but the difference at 2 wins do. Ross County were being labelled in with St Johnstone. They won 3 away games there in like the space of a week. Flying high.
Setting a Premiership record for themselves. Never before had they won 3 consecutive away games. They've done that now. And you're right, I mean, you win a couple of games in a row and it can change things, and that's what Simone Falicari must be telling his St Johnstone players. He must be saying to them, look, I know it looks bad, try not to look at league table, but if we can go on a nice win and run, if we can throw together 2, 3, 4 wins in a row, then we will get ourselves right back into the mix.
What St Johnstone can't afford to do, right, is lose another game and, like the 2 teams above them win. Saying that, their next game's away to Ibrox.
Oh,
it's not looking good. Not looking good.
I personally think St Johnstone are doing. I thought it was a poor appointment. I would not have got rid of Craig Levein. And we can call Craig Levein whatever we want to call him. We can say he's shite. We can say he's a moany bastard. We can say he's awkward and weird. He's the James Wade of Fitba. Looks a bit like him as well. I mean, look, you can say whatever you want about Craig Levein, 4-6-0. I've got no real love for the guy anymore. But I think the sacking was harsh.
Would he have took them down as well, though? Probably.
No, I'm not saying he wouldn't have took them down, but I think at the period of time when he got sacked, I don't think it was a deserving sacking.
Probably not, no. I tend to agree with that, but you know what?
And
if I had to pick a club to go down outside of Celtic, I would pick St Johnstone.
Well, I mean, that's fair, but you know what? I mean, if they got it...
I don't even know, actually.
Aberdeen.
I would have picked Aberdeen. You know what I mean? No, I'm talking about the clubs that are, like, in the relegation fight.
I could almost accept it if they got rid of Craig Levein and it made a difference, but I think it's made them worse. No, it has. I don't rate this manager. Don't think he's any good.
He came in and they were playing all right. They weren't really getting results, but since then they've just done nothing.
What did St Johnstone do? Did they sack him or did they just accept, look, we're probably going down, give him next season, see if he can rebuild and bring us back up?
I almost feel like you need a British manager, like not a foreign manager doing the Championship with a team that's just come down. Some guy to do the basics and just get you straight back up. I've seen nothing for this guy to suggest that he's going to get them back up.
So you think St Johnstone could they be the new Hamilton?
They could be, yeah.
Or a Falkirk?
The Hamilton with the cup double.
Aye, but could they be that new team that go down and don't come back up?
Yeah, I think they could be. I believe they came up in 2009. I mean, that's 16 years ago now. Nothing lasts forever, am I right?
No, you're right. And I think you tend to see if you don't come up pretty soon, then you sometimes just don't come back up.
You get stagnant, you get that money.
You look at Falkirk, you look at Dunfermline, Inverness Caledonian Thistle, Hamilton Academical, Partick Thistle. I mean, these are teams that haven't came straight back up and they've struggled. You look at the Dundee clubs, at least when they go down, they do come straight back up.
They come right back up. Anyway, let's go into the fixtures, because we've got 3 games, damn it. Another thing that sucks, by the way. Dundee and Rangers literally just played each other. So did Celtic, Dundee United, and so did Killie Motherwell. It was literally like 2 weeks ago, and they're all playing each other again. This is why 4 games against the same teams every season doesn't fucking work. Do you agree?
Yeah, but you know what? I kind of like the result of the last Celtic Dundee United game, so I'm all for this rematch.
Well, I don't think it'll be 0-0, but let's get into it. So, Celtic, this Christmas period, they've been quite fortunate with the fixtures. A lot of home games in there. The one away game they did have, the 2 away games they did have,
you say fortunate.
They picked up 1 point out of 6.
But, that's not really fortunate, because they'd already played their fair share of away games, so...
You could argue, though, not even argue. This period of the season's more congested and it's harder to turn over with the away games and home games.
I mean, I'll give you that, but I don't think it would have made much difference in the end.
No, neither do I, but here, it's like, it happens every year. One team will just get the favour of it and one team won't. Rubber the green, so to speak. But I think this will be a very close game of football. If Dundee United beat Hearts, I would maybe see a wee draw here. But if you lose to Hearts, man, my faith for you goes out the window. So I'm going to go for 2-0 Celtic.
I'm going to go 2-1 Dundee United.
2-1 Dundee United?
Aye, Sam Dalby double. Now, my predictions are normally fucking good, so I'd be worried, Celtic fans.
That's brilliant. That's fantastic. Well, imagine that. Big Sam Dalby.
We'll see. Dundee United have only lost 2 of their last, 13 games?
Aye, something like that. Crazy.
Celtic, I think, no, that 3-0 flattered Celtic against St Mirren. The keeper made errors for all 3 goals.
We'll see how this one goes, though. Anyway, Killie against Motherwell. Recently drew 1 each on Premier Sports. There was a red card for Dan Casey. It was a yoke.
Yeah, Killie need a win. I'm not guaranteed they're getting one.
So did Motherwell, though.
Yeah,
Motherwell in their game in hand. You expect Dundee United to lose.
You know what?
They'll be right in there.
I'm going to go 1-1.
Ooh. Another 1-1 between these two?
Yep.
I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1 Motherwell.
Derek McInnes, is he in danger of getting sacked or?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. I feel like I feel like for Killie and Motherwell, and then the 2 Dundee clubs, these games are a free hit. It's the game in hand. Doesn't really matter what happens, really. In a sense, you know what I mean? Right, up next, the Thursday night delight, Dundee, taking on Rangers at Dens Park. Looking forward to this bad boy. Not really, because it's the away game and Rangers are shite away, so... Honestly, I see drop points here.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to go a draw. I'm going to go Dundee 1, Rangers 1. I see Rangers drop more points.
And I think the worrying thing for Rangers is, even if they put 20 minutes, 25 minutes in like they did against Hibs, they could easily fold again. Like they did.
Yeah, even if Rangers go... Again, back in the day, if Rangers went 2-0 up against a team that wasn't called Celtic,
and I believe the Nico Raskin misses this game due to suspension. Proper, I believe, doesn't, but it's probably going to be him or King, or it could be Nasala and King. Sterling's out injured. It's just this is a team with no physicality at the back, Rangers. And you know what? Anyone watching that Hibs game or whatever will know this Rangers team is so vulnerable for set pieces. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if Dundee won like 3-1, just alone with the set pieces. But Rangers, they need to play like they did against Hibs for the first 25 minutes. But it's so worrying, right? It's actually borderline disgraceful that you've got Rangers here going into these away games and you're fearing about conceding like 3 goals a game to every team in the league. Conceded 3 against Hibs, 2 against Motherwell, 2 against St Mirren. I mean, that's fucking bogging.
That's not good enough, is it?
No, it's nowhere near good enough. Like, I mean, anyway, right? I'm not using that as an excuse. You should be scoring threes and fours anyway.
But no one, they're not winning games. So if you have to score 3 or 4 to win away from home, then you ain't gonna win many away from home games.
No. You know what? We didn't really. I'm going
1-1.
Going to go 2-1 Rangers. Going to go Hamza Gamani to get another brace because the kid's on fire. Hopefully Dundee don't extinguish him. But this video has been exterminated. So anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below and peace.